Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? The only question that I have on my mind right now, is God fair or not? Do you think, Brother Nanshi, that God is fair? You need to be honest with me. I don't think that God is fair at all. I struggled a lot growing up in Zim, in the village from where I come from. My parents, they passed away when I was still very young. And then that was when I started working in the village, just herding some cattle. Then when I was all grown up, went to Harare, worked in the big city, and I managed to raise some money, which was only 50 rands that I had. I spoke with this other driver, a very good man. He was from Malawi. I still remember that he was driving this long nose, a big yellow truck. I told him that I did not have any money, and he said that it was okay. Me and him, we drove from Harare all the way to Beitbridge. And he said to me, "Oh friend, this is where I am going to drop you off, for you do not have the necessary papers." I stayed in Beitbridge. I was almost like a street kid. I would wait until people would have finished eating. Then I would grab the food that they would have left behind. Sometimes there were people that would throw rocks at me, but I was used to it. I sacrificed until I had found some money, crossed over, stayed in Musina, where I was working for this other white man who used to beat me up and he would call me a baboon. But I told myself that when you are a poor man, you are a poor man. You have to work. I sacrificed my own blood. That is what makes it to be very painful for me. I thought that this was going to last forever. When I came to South Africa, I saw that there was an opportunity. I just needed to find a job. I started working as a security guard. I was not earning a lot of money since I did not have the necessary papers. I was just a private security guard at this other farm. The little money that was given to me, I would go into town and then I would buy some stuff from a cash and carry and sell it in the nearby farms until the white man at that farm had told me that I was free to open up a tuck shop, in which I did that. And now, after I have sacrificed everything, it turns out that I cannot operate a Spaza shop anymore. How painful it is to have sacrificed your own kids thinking that it is a business that is going to last like forever. I am a man that is aged 46 years old, originally from GB Masvingo. Now I am living, I'll just say, in Pretoria Glen, extension 27, Johannesburg. This confession, it happened way back in 2010. That was when my story started. I was working on a farm, and then I started to date this other lady who used to work at the farm where I was working. She was staying at Hamkaba near Mukopane, and this lady, one Friday, she said that I was supposed to go with her to her village. I went there. So then I said, let us go and buy some cold drinks for your kids. And then when we went to the Spaza shop, I saw that it was like a long distance that we had to walk. There was this other Somalian man who had a Spaza shop. So we went to that Spaza shop, and when we returned back, I then thought about it and I said, if it ever happens that I was to start a business, will your mother allow me to build a one room by the front near the gate, and I will make it a Spaza? And then she was like, I will speak with my mother. She gladly agreed because this was going to be an extra income, and she knew that her son-in-law was a man who wanted to make money, and she knew that they were never going to suffer. And she allowed me. Sometimes I would pay her rent, but sometimes I would not pay the rent. And I would always remind myself that I had came here to South Africa with nothing, and all that I had was a dream. I had a dream to feed my family, to make it big. So I now had two tuck shops that I had, one at the farm and the other one that I had at that village where I was dating that woman. So this lady, I really do not know what was her problem, because I had big plans for her. I wanted her to go to Joburg so that she can buy clothes like your fake labels as well as tracksuits, and then she would bring them to the farm and then we can make more money. But maybe she thought that now, since at her house I had built this Spaza shop with the stock that was inside of the shop, she had made so much money. She stopped answering my calls, and the day when I went to check up on her during weekend, that was when I found out that she was with another guy inside her bedroom. She asked me who I was, and I told her that it was me, a boyfriend. And then she said, "You want to get yourself stabbed, ne? I don't even know you." And then I said, "Okay, it is fine. Please, I just want to take the stock that is inside of my shop and my money." She then called a police van on me. Knowing that I did not have a passport, I ran back to the farm. From that day going onwards, that was when I told myself to never depend on a South African woman ever again, for they will only do things that will benefit them, and if they are not benefiting from you anymore, they will forget all about you. She was like a committed woman when we started dating, but after that Spaza shop, she started acting out. Fast forward, I moved from the farm and I came to Joburg. I opened up several Spaza shops until I started to get robbed almost each and every month, and they will rob all of my shops. And then I went to this other prophet, white garment prophet, who told me that I was being robbed simply because I had bad luck. For the bad luck that was on me was supposed to be removed, and he was the only one who could remove that bad luck. And I said, "So be it, man of God. If you can remove this bad luck, please assist me as much as you can." So that man, he then told me that there were some holy prayers that were supposed to be given to me, as well as finding a traditional healer that was going to assist me. So when he told me that I was supposed to be given some charms that I had to use in connection with the holy prayers, I never thought much about it. I just said, if this is what is going to help me so that I will stop these people from robbing me, I was happy and I did not ask a lot of questions. And I want to advise other people, when you go to a Sangoma, if there is something that you do not understand, try by all means to ask that Sangoma that will be assisting you to tell you what are the disadvantages of the charms that he is going to be giving to you. Do not only look at the advantages. That is what I did. I was given some charms that I had to place in all of my Spaza shops, and indeed there was no one who would come to rob my shops anymore. There were two boys that went and robbed one of my Spaza shops, and in the morning when one of my workers, a woman who was working for me, she used to stay at the same house where I was renting that Spaza shop, she opened the Spaza shop somewhere around 6 a.m. and then she found out that the lock was broken. She called the landlord. When they got into the Spaza shop, they saw that there were two boys from the same location that were just sleeping on the floor. They had opened up a cold drink, a 2-liter bottle of cold drink, as well as bread and acha, which meant that they were confused by the charms. Instead of stealing, all that they thought about was to eat the bread, the acha, and to drink the cold drink, and then they fell fast asleep. They were just arrested, and people were even afraid to rob me since that day. So what I started to notice was that at night, whenever I would switch on the light, something will switch off the light, and I was scared to sleep in the dark. Whenever there will be load shedding, I will feel so much scared, like there is someone that will be with me in the bedroom. With time, I started to have weird dreams. I would see myself digging up some two graves, and my kids, the ones that I sacrificed, they will come and they will ask me why I'll be digging up those graves, and then I will see a demon that will climb out of the graves that I will be digging and collecting my kids and running away with them. And when I went to the Sangoma again, that was when I was told that the charms that had been given to me, that was protecting my Spaza shops and making people to come to me, those charms, they were tired. They needed some blood so that they can keep on making people to come in their numbers and to buy whatever that they wanted and some things that they did not want at my Spaza shop. So I was supposed to sacrifice 2 of my kids, and that is exactly what I wanted. The most confusing part about it is that even though I have had these Spaza shops for many, many years, when you see me walking down the road, you will never even think that I am such a man who has all of these Spaza shops. I just look poor. I don't even bath often because those are the rules that I was told that I have to follow. I don't have money. Even if they take all of my Spaza shops like what they are doing now, I'll be left with nothing. And I have been thinking and asking myself, why did I do this? I thought that I was going to go back to Zim rich, but I lost my kids for nothing, and it hurts me a lot to know that this is what I did. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. He says that at his Spaza shops, the spirits of his kids, they are the ones that call the customers to come to his Spaza shops so that they can buy. Yo,